Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and well, it's now time again of Nintendo to talk about them and show how fucking stupid the Nintendons are. So, Nintendo, not entiendo, I don't understand you, and I don't want you, well, maybe I'm fooling myself, I can't understand you. You are one of those corporates, ghoulish companies that they want to monopolize everything they have based on what you hold up. And you are going as far as this. And Nintendo's are cheering you up because you are on a fucking cult. They are on a fucking cult. Yeah, I will go as far. How I talk it, how the Trunies, they deserve to be locked down. Yeah, I even will put themselves that. Yeah, Asylums, they also need to make room for Nintendrons. Because there is no fucking way that they are going as far as, yeah, defending this shit. Well, two shits that they are happening that got exposed recently. So, this is from July 16th from Insider Gaming. So, YouTuber could go to jail for reviewing third-party gaming handhelds. So, an Italian YouTuber who is known for reviewing various gaming handhelds could be facing jail time for doing just that. Retro gaming YouTuber Once Werner has taken to the platform to reveal that he's been investigated by the Italian government. So check this one. You have crimes also happening in Italy by illegals from Muslim countries. They don't want to prosecute that because they are so cocky in the European Union on that aspect, but they would rather go after guys playing runs on their computers. Yeah, and the government will gladly go and pursue that one. Yeah, look at the top priorities of any sort of law enforcement. Hell, even from Latin America, they will rather chase gamers into jail and throwing them along with cartel members. Well, not pursuing cartel members. No, the top priority of the governments right now. That yeah, they Nintendo is just having a lot of power to even mobilizing a full police workforce, law of enforcement to be precisely. So well, let's continue because I already ranting and we are not even half of the. So, by the Italian government for the promotion of pirated copyright games. According to Once Warner's on April 15, members from the Guardia di Finanza, a militarized law enforcement agency, I'm not surprised. In Italy, under the authority of the Ministry of Economy and Finance, look at the kind of fucking reach the Nintendo has. Show up with a search warrant, complying with their orders. The agency seized over 30 handheld gaming systems and his phone. He even showed the agency his conversations with the various manufacturers. So he was reviewing manufacturers and just Sony said, yeah, I'm being denounced. Denunciato. I got denunciato. I'm not shitting on Italians right now over my poorly pronunciation and just, oh man, the way how this one happened. So, continue on. The devices in question appear to be third-party gaming handhelds from companies like Amberneath, Go Retroid, and others that usually ship with runs of various games that are often pirated from publishers like Nintendo and Sony. So yeah, you know what? I have to tell you, my father years ago, they he give me no he give me a fighting stick, one of those that they are I have a custom PC with Linux to run emulators of arcade games. Yeah, in my country even those are sold because yes, that way even families enjoy with their kids the old stuff, which the old stuff it's better than the current stuff. And just because yeah those manufacturers shipped up to him and the only job this guy had was reviewing. Yeah, you know what kind of overreach Nintendo wants? You people will realize these fucking Nintendo will realize what is going on. Nah, they never will. So let's continue. He said that he's accused of promoting copyrighted material via social media, which under the Article 171 of the Italian copyright law, all of these fucking copyright laws, they need to be revamped and reholded because yeah, this is going out of hand. Look who it is actually abusing this shit. You barely see someone when actually there is legit copyright issues like yeah, legitimate plagiarizing. So let's continue. It's illegal in the country. However, he says none of his handheld reviews were sponsored by the company, nor did he include any sort of affiliated links to the products. He claims they were impartial reviews of an available product with no intent to promote copyrighted game themselves. So if this guy just because he bought those handhelds, yeah, that's no excuse for Nintendo to go after him and after you if you dare to buy one of those handhelds. Man, these look at this shit. Look how Nintendo it is. Should the investigations move forward once Werner be officially charged, he could face up to 3 years of jail time and fines up to 30 million Italian lira. Honestly, I don't know what in US dollars what amount of money it is. So yeah, even I bet it's quite a lot of money. In the meantime, once Werner has to wait for an update on the investigations when dealing with the rest of the Guardia di Finanza, have all of his channels shut down. No way to defend yourself. This is the kind of overreach Nintendo has. This is the kind of legal power they enact. And people will support this shit. And Nintendo has also supported the next one because, yeah, we are not stopping there. Nintendo modifies patent amid ongoing palworld lawsuit. According to the latest developments in the Nintendo and Pokemon's company patent infringement lawsuit against palworld, the former has recently modified one of its patents. So the way how this one goes, yeah, it's turning worse, but also it's posing Nintendo that there is a lot of stuff that at this point I have to say they need to be put to a stop because it's so fucking illegal that you are modifying. Look what they're doing. They are suing. They filed all of those patents just to screw up Palworld because Palworld proved, and Nintendo with this lawsuit also keeps proving that they refused to give the Nintendrons the Pokemon they have game they have ever wanted. That they wanted it to be. They wanted to expand and beyond. This is the message that Nintendo is telling to all anyone at this point. Not only Nintendrons, everyone all over the world. So look at this shit. So for those unaware, Nintendo Pokemon Company and Pocket Pet, the publisher of Palworld, have been in a legal battle for close to a year now. It's a patent infringement lawsuit in which Nintendo alleges that Palworld has infringed on the three of its patents. Palworld and Pocket Pet have already argued invalidity. However, it seems Nintendo may have another card up its sleeve. The fact that this one is turning on in a sleep. Look at this, what they're doing. So Nintendo rewrites patent claims during Palworld lawsuit. Yeah, this one. How this shit is even fucking allowed. It's the equivalent of, oh well, I denounced this person. I falsely accused this one, and I'm fabricating evidence to screw him in the courtroom. This is what message that also the Japanese laws are sending. This is the message they're sending that if they in Japan they those the fair use doesn't exist. Even we have seen stories of YouTubers from Japan being incarcerated for quite a long time in jail only because they dared to review an anime. Even there were some screenshots of promotional art that was already posted on social media. Yeah, all of these fucking copyright clowns need to be destroyed and create new ones that actually tackle what is actually copyright of on an ownership of an IP. Because this one at this point, yeah, they are being easily abused by the ones in power. So let's read this. According to a report by Games Frey, Nintendo has recently visited the Japan Patent Office to request a modification to one of its patent claims, and this request has been granted. Yeah, screw the Japanese government. Yeah, fuck this. Yeah, they're willing to side with a corporate or corrupt organizations, a company, to twist the parents in the middle of a lawsuit because they don't want any sort of competition. Not they do not only don't want palworld to exist, they don't want any sort of competition at all to exist. And they're fucking telling you that in your face. They're fucking telling you right now, I don't want to see any sort of alternative. None. And they are approaching the patent office in Japan to twist all of the patents, the same patents, changing it over and over again until Palworld can no longer make the stuff that to the audience they were trying to appeal in the fucking first place and be driving out of business. Yeah, the Japanese government, seriously, I have to say, they are fucking corrupt. As much as they claim, oh, my society, we are seeing this outside. They cannot fool anyone. Yeah, so you're telling that even your own citizens are going to be bitches of all these corporations. They're sending the message very fucking clearly, man. And also, they are going on their way to destroy not only video games, anime, and manga in the upcoming elections. Let's see how that holds up at the end of the day. So, continue on. There are three patterns in questions. Two focus on collecting characters, and one is about smooth switching between flying and riding objects. Nintendo has rebased the patent claim for the patent related to smooth switching between riding objects. The report explains that the revision of Nintendo's patent doesn't introduce quote-unquote any new technical matter. However, its wording has been described as extremely contorted. How that so? Let's see. Gainsfrey asks that this kind of wording is quote-unquote trying to complicate things for the purpose of putting up a huge smoke screen. No joke, just like all of the big wordings, like I ranted many times with the terms of service of any platform that wants to push censorship, they go in this way because this is a way to fuck you up. So let's continue. Moreover, phrases like quote unquote even went are not usually found in patent claims. Here an excerpt from the modified Nintendo's patent. So yeah, I got to read this one fully. And even when any boarding character other than the aerial boarding character capable of moving in air is the currently selected boarding character and its first operation input is given when its player's character is in the air, all of this boarding. The computer causes the aerial boarding character to appear in the virtual space and causes the player character to board an aerial boarding character instead of currently selecting boarding character from among the boarding characters. I'm trying face palm me. Face palm me right now. Ah, Señor San Jose. Sweet dear Lord Jesus. So, you're seeing this kind of wording? How? Look at this fucking shit they're doing. And the Japanese office, the patent office, the law, is allowing it to happen. In other places, probably even I have to put it in that if they were trying to fight this one in the US, in some way of capacity, the US intervene and say, you know what, let's fight this in court here. How about that, bitch? And they see this one, they could easily dismiss this patent and force Nintendo to bend over. But even that's what putting up because yeah, they have the FBI in their fucking pocket. So yeah, only one can fucking wish, man. But look at this warden. He's fucking stupid, retarded, and insane, but also, yeah, it's a fucking small screen to to give anyone to read this shit a headache. Furthermore, the report tells us that quote-unquote litigants don't change a pattern in the middle of an infringement case unless they feel the pattern is a fairly high risk of being deemed invalid in its original form. Because that's what it is, and Again, why this one is allowed? They should not do that shit. Well, let's continue. However, sometimes these revisions can allow the litigant to quote-unquote survive the invalidity of the contentions and also establish a quote-unquote an infringement by the accused product of service. Yeah, there is a lot of legal stuff that needs to be taken care of, but also, yeah, all of this shit, even these laws can even exist if Nintendo finally started to experience what they're experiencing with the Wii U. But I'm seeing that none of that is ever going to happen because Nintendo they keep dumping a lot of money. They will gladly perpetuate the existence of this company. It also speculates that Nintendo revisions to its parent claims that the Power lawsuit may not be targeting just Pocket Pair. They can also be used to discourage other companies from making games that resemble Pokemon in any shape or form. Exactly. No competition, and all of those games, we have seen it, how they really slop from the Pokemon games, riddled with bugs, glitches, and kinda the thing that the people care the most, how they can corrupt your save games and all of those Pokemons that they granted in the past, the Nintendo's grinded already, they can see that's been snuffed away because even Nintendo, they don't give a fuck about even putting an effort in game file transferring. But hey, they put a lot of effort in delivering a far worse system of license sharing for digital content of their products. Look what they are doing, Nintendons. Look what they are doing. They're doing this not also for anyone. They're doing this primarily to yourself. Because yeah, you think this is not going to screw you up? Guess right. You guess it wrong, and that's the thing. You are going to get fuck over or in the future a lot more because this one also proved that there is going to push even more boundaries of the definition of anti-consumer practices. So that's it. Thanks for watching and please take care.